Before we dig into today's content for the video, I did want to take a few moments to share with you one of the many visual successes that the I Am Melanin Magic hair brand is having. The Magical Hair Growth Serum has been very successful in helping people to restore hair in areas that have long been bald or that have been very difficult to remediate. This client, as you will see as you continue to watch, has been using the product for 2 months, and in the 2-month period has experienced some major changes. So we celebrate these changes, and over the next several videos I'll be able to share with you more and more of the pictures that many of you out there on this beautiful channel, on this blessed channel, have been so gracious and kind to share with me over the last almost year and a half, 2 years. Organizing the files now and really making an effort to show more of the success that the products are having now. This is the Magical Hair Growth Serum being used consecutive days, I believe from Wednesday to Saturday or Sunday. And this has been a very hard to treat area for this client. So hopefully you enjoy taking a look at the before and after. We've had various other successes with male patterned hair baldness. Again, the results do vary from person to person. I'm hoping that you will stay tuned for the release of the Magical Hair Growth Serum Accelerator. The group that is participating in the trials, hopefully, I'm giving a shout out to all of you women, will receive your samples within the next 6 weeks. I'm very excited about this particular product because it's entirely different, but hopefully it will be just as effective, or it will pick up where the other serum leaves off. It is definitely worth a try. We're getting some amazing results. I love you guys and thank you for all your support. The I Am Melanin Magic brand salutes your support. I am Melanin Magic, and so are you. Hello, beautiful butterflies and perfect people. Welcome to the Loc channel. You with Tunisia Ali here, and I'm going to take a little bit of time today to dig into the responsibility that you have to take care of your hair and to make sure that you are doing the kinds of things that are going to aid in the growth and health of your locks, your sister locks, your micro locks, your knotted locks, whatever it is, the type of lock that you have. We did a Zoom call. I guess you could say, gosh, it's been a week already. Yeah, it was June the 30th, so it's been a full week. And we had a loctician present. Shout out to Shay. And she did bring up some very valid concerns, which she will talk to us about at a later date. But she wanted to share her perspective with regard to some of the issues that locticians run into dealing with clients with smaller locks, micro locks, tiny locks, whatever it is you want to call them. And I felt that it was a valid point. And I love to hear alternative views, which is why if there are locticians out there who would like to come on and share their particular viewpoints, I'd love to have you to contact me. My information is in the description. Just so that all of you who may be watching this video know, my number has been in the description since I started the channel, and things have just gotten a bit to be a bit too much. So I can no longer take the personal calls and the text messages in the way that I have been trying to keep up with them before. It has just gotten to be quite the volume. So if you shoot me a text or you send me a phone call and leave a voicemail, please do not be offended if I cannot get back to you personally. It is just virtually impossible now in most circumstances. You all know I have quite a few different things that I'm involved with. This is one aspect of what I do. I have a few other channels. I also have a couple of other businesses that are requiring time and commitment as well. And I'm dedicated to all of those things. So do be patient. A lot of the things that you reach out to me about can be found in the videos almost 100% of the time. The other more personal things that you may call me and ask me about, I've requested many a time, And I've told you all that I am not a personal loctician. I can speak about my experiences, and that's what I tell you about and advise you with regard to here on the channel. And so you have to take the information that I give you and try to make the most informed decision based upon how the message resonates with you at a particular time. It will always come down to your own level of personal empowerment and your belief system. I'm big on belief systems. I talk about that on my spiritual channel. Your belief system dictates your entire reality. Whatever you believe, that's what your reality is going to conform to. I'm a knotted locks girl now. That's what I believe in. So my whole reality is going to conform to that. Plenty of months and years before I switched from Sisterlocks to knotted locks, I was not a 100% supporter of Sisterlocks. So my reality and the information that I gave you all on the channel to raise the awareness was in alignment with that particular belief system. And everything will be based on that. So if this is something that you feel that you resonate with, then understand that at the end of the day, you have to be the one to believe in yourself, and you have to be the one to make the decision that you think is best for you. Because what you believe about life and what you believe about the possibilities of your life is what is either going to hamper you in achieving your goals, or it's going to support your limitlessness and your transcendence above whatever circumstances you find yourself in. I'm all about the fifth dimension, personal empowerment, and stepping to the plate to not just be your best version. That's a very rudimentary, basic, very concrete way to express what is actually possible in terms of what is happening in the world, and the fact that the world is separating between not only the haves and the have-nots as it relates to a dimensional reality and what is possible and what timeline frequency you're going to be on. When I talk about the third dimension and the fifth dimension, it's real, and it's going to become even more real between now and the end of the year. And some people will be living on a frequency where they will have an entirely different reality, and they will be manifesting. They will have instantaneous or very short time cycle manifestations. They will live abundantly in prosperity. They will be able to heal aspects of their lives that have been challenges. They will leave certain karmic cycles behind. This is a very real thing. If you keep abreast of the research that is going on and what is possible and what people are doing today in the quantum realm as it relates to epigenetics, neuroscientists, alternative healing paradigms, biocentrism, and the list goes on, and these light beings that are coming on the planet. The very fact, and you should go over to my Butterfly Transformations channel if these kinds of things interest you, but the very fact that we can be sitting up here talking about aliens and knowing that aliens are amongst us when we've known this, those of us who have been awake have known this for decades and decades. God said, at least in the Quran, that he is the Lord of, God is the Lord of all of the worlds. And if we know that planet Earth is this small and that there are thousands upon thousands of millions of other planets in the galaxy, we would be remiss and naive and in denial to think that we were the only life form on the planet. But when you begin to see these actual beings amongst you in greater numbers, many people will be shocked. And many of us will recognize that this is just a manifestation of another veil that is being lifted. So what you think about your reality will color your entire experience of life. So that is why I tell you, knotted locks is a mindset. The Sisterlock paradigm no longer fits with who I am as a person. It no longer fits with my mindset. It no longer makes sense to me. I see it as a limiting paradigm. I see it as something that has served
Purchase your copy of Manifesting Your Masterpiece today.
It has put me on Amazon.com. Timeline. It has subjected me to a level of enslavement, to a practice that I no longer feel I can support or that is healthy for my hair. So it was very easy for me to make a decision. I don't believe in a grid. A grid is not associated only with Sisterlocks. It's associated with a lot of other lock styles as well. I don't require a grid. I don't need to see my parts. I need to allow my hair to grow the way it wants to grow. I need to allow my hair to be able to express its coils. I need to be able to have my tools with me at all times. There was a time where I worried about if I moved to Belize or another country, who was going to do my hair. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to worry about if I had to take over my own retightenings, that it would need 12 hours of arduous work with mirrors everywhere, with stress, if I combined a lock and all of this other stuff. It is no longer on my frequency. I see Sisterlocks as a third dimensional reality. I'm beyond that, but am I going to criticize and judge anyone else who wants to and feels like that serves them? Heck no, because you are exactly where you're supposed to be, just like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Neither of us is any better or any worse off, except according to what it is we feel is part of the reason why we are here on this planet. And my part has to do with me expressing myself fully and helping other people to raise their level of awareness so that they can step into their full power and to understand the ways in which you've been separated from your full power and the ways in which you have perpetuated certain institutions, certain mindsets, certain belief systems, certain societal forms of hypnosis, literally the hypnosis of social conditioning, shout out to Deepak Chopra, and many other things that simply don't serve you and simply are not true when looked at from the point of view of an unpolluted mind, an unindoctrinated mind. And so I say that to say, you can take what I say as a grain of salt, or you can take what I say as something that helps to prick your consciousness and take you in a direction so that you can search for what makes sense to you. You don't have to do what anybody else is doing. You should be different. You should do what resonates with your soul. Not at Locs resonates with my soul. Okay, let me briefly mention a little bit about what I came on here to talk about, which was your responsibility to take care of your hair. You all have heard me to say, inspect what you expect. You've also heard me to say you have to be an active participant in your own rescue, in your hair care journey. You've heard me talk about the different things that I did with my Sisterlocks in between retightenings, before retightenings, and after retightenings. It's important that you assume those responsibilities and that you take them seriously. It's also important that many of you really understand that whatever hair issues you're dealing with, they didn't get that way overnight. They got that way through repeated negligence or a repeated lack of effort to intervene in a timely fashion, or your blind adherence to a path that was not working for you in the first place. In short, what do I mean? What I mean is that you have to be checking your hair all the time. You have to be taking care of your hair all the time. If you get certain guidance from your loctician and it resonates with you, I'm not talking about the kind of guidance that doesn't resonate with you and the kind of guidance that doesn't make sense to you. If you get certain guidance from your loctician and it resonates with you, then you need to do those things. If you are asked to not wear tight hairstyles because you are losing hair already and your loctician advises you to stop styling your hair and to keep your hands out of your hair, or to not then take hair that is already dry, brittle, and breaking and then braid cornrows out of it, or add additional hair to your Sisterlocks, a crochet style or something, and you decide that that's what you want to do, then you have to accept the consequences for that. If you're not washing your hair on a schedule that your hair needs, you have to accept the consequences for that. If you know you have a flaky and an itchy scalp and you're not doing anything about that, and you know that a flaky and an itchy scalp, i.e. dandruff, can contribute to scalp inflammation, which will lead you down the path of hair loss, and you're not trying to remedy that, then you have a problem. If you don't want to groom your hair and check your hair and separate your locks on a regular basis and get to know your hair, you're going to compound whatever other issues are likely going to crop up during your Sisterlock, Microlock, or whatever other journey you have. If you don't do the things to keep your hair clean, you're going to have problems. If you don't listen to the things that make sense that you know you should be doing, you're going to have issues. I've got to go back to wearing my my satin caps in the evening. I don't want to do it. I haven't done it in years, and when I was doing it, I wasn't consistent. But I realized if I want certain outcomes, then that's going to be something that's going to be better for me. That's going to be something that I'm going to need to do. My hair is feeling and looking better than it has in a long time. I love the fullness around the front. I love what Knotted Locks is doing for me. But there's certain regimens that Melissa has given me that I need to make sure that I do. I need to make sure that I oil and that I water my hair and that I provide a nurture, a fertile landscape in which my hair can actually thrive. If I decide not to do that, that's going to be on me. I can't blame her for that. I can't blame anyone else for that. And by the same token, I say the same thing to you. Give your hair what your hair needs. If I've told you you need to massage your scalp, take the time to massage your scalp. Even if I haven't told you or you haven't heard me talk about massaging your hair, massaging your hair is very healthy. It takes just a few minutes. Maybe you need to consider doing it. Maybe you need to wear a satin cap as well. Maybe your hair is rubbing up against the back seat of your car and you need to put a satin piece of cloth there. There's so many ways and so many things that you need to do to take care of your hair, to put the value in it, especially for those of you all who have really great locticians, because there are a lot of great locticians out there and they give us a lot of advice. And when you don't take the advice and then you suffer the consequences of not taking the advice and then you want to blame somebody and you point the finger, you got to look at what's pointing back at you. So I hope that this video resonates with you. It makes sense. It feels right in your soul. And if you've been one of those people that are not taking adequate measures to make sure that you do all that you can to keep your hair healthy, in addition to eating right, drinking plenty of water, okay? Because the health of your hair can start within, but I'll be the last person to tell you that your health is dependent upon your diet and your drinking water. It's a combination of multiple internal and external factors. I don't care if you had the best diet under the planet and you were in great health. If you didn't take care of your hair externally and you didn't do the things that you needed to do, and you put a ton of chemicals in it, and you wore tight hairstyles, and you were getting your retightenings done by someone who was not equipped to diagnose what the particular needs of your hair are, you're still going to have problems. So it's a multifaceted combination of variables that you need to consider when it comes down to what it is you need to do for your hair to maintain the sanctuary of your peace of mind, but also to maintain the integrity of your hair. You're with Tanisha Ali. If you're interested in spirituality, the spiritual path, and leveling up to a higher vibration, come over to my Butterfly Transformations channel and see how we're getting it in over there. We just finished a 10-day manifesting meditation challenge, which was amazing. It's the sort of challenge that you can do on your own schedule whenever you decide to start. I invite you to come over there. We're getting ready to really start cranking up a variety of very thought-provocative or thought-provoking content on the channel like we always have, but we're getting ready to take it up another notch. So without further ado, I just want to thank you all very much for showing support for the channel. I want to thank you all very much for your testimonials on the website. I encourage you to continue to go back and to give your testimonials and to share some of the positive impacts that some of the oils are making in your life. They are definitely assisting me. I'm sure you all can tell. I'm very glad about that. I am doing the Fearless Follicles, but I'm getting ready to start doing the Magical Hair Growth Serum just around the front edges and the Fearless Follicles as I continue my knotting. The three of these together are really having a really positive impact on my hair. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like it, share it. Leave something in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. If there are particular videos that you would like to see, let me know. Also, I did just publish the interview with Melissa Blakes. It is very long. She and I have a lot of energy. We have a lot of synergy. And so
We had a lot of fun doing that interview. I'm going to break up bits and parts of it over the next several months and put bits and pieces of what she said for some of you all who simply do not have the time or patience to sit through the entirety of that video. There's actually still another part to it, which would have to be included in a part 2 or in a follow-up video. But hopefully you find it very informative. I thoroughly enjoyed my discussion with her. We align vibrationally. We're on the same frequency. Let me just put it that way. At this particular time in our orbit, we're in the same frequency. So it's very easy for us to have a conversation. I understand her, she understands me. Hopefully you understand us as well. Some of you may not necessarily agree with everything, and that's okay too, because you know I always encourage you to walk your own path. Your own personal truth is what is the most important thing to you. I love you. I appreciate all of y'all, and I'll see you around.
Get Manifesting Your Masterpiece on Amazon.com.